That said, obviously today we have Kory Martin giving his first 10 minutes.
Forgive me, I forgot. The speaker prize I'll bring it next week.
That's right, minus points again. No. So business name is Martin Martin, and connected to business is Courier and Removals and Storage. He's the director of the company, but covers the whole of Essex and London. Now, just a couple little bits here about Kory. How does Kory relax? Well, playing the PS5. Never played that, so we'll have to have a one-to-one, I think, so you can show me. Type of music. Now, is this soca?
It's soca.
Soca, I didn't know for soccer. Soca.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. With £1 million cash, very sensible, would buy some bonds to receive a monthly income.
Yes.
And additionally, he can cook well is boiling water. So, very good. So, put your hands together for Kory's first 10 minutes.
So usually I would normally stand up and do a presentation, but with that like button smash, I gotta sit down for this. That's okay with everyone? Yeah. Okay. Alright, so quickly, once again my name is Kory Martin. And I'm not just the director, but there's a co-director who is my wife, Taffy Martin. But that's the one you see, I'm going to see here today. As you said, we have two businesses. We have Martin & Martin Removals and Storage. As you can see, we do removals, and if you need storage, short-term or long-term, we do that as well. And Courier service is another one that we do have as well, which is same day, next day, same day or next day, whenever you eventually need to get something from A to B. So in this presentation, I'll be going through the slope, who I am as a person, how the journey of being entrepreneurial started. I like to call it the prelude, the present, where we are now, and where we want this business to go as well. Okay, so who I am? I'm a Christian. That's the first thing. Jesus Christ saved my life. It's the best thing he's ever done. I was born in Leytonstone, London, East London. Funny enough, apparently this is Cockney area, and I found out my name Kory means nothing nice. Yeah, Kory means morning glory. Yeah. I'm newly married. Newly married. Obviously that means I'm a husband of 1 year and 4 months. Now the next bit, you're gonna laugh. I'm a new dad of a 4-month-old girl. That means didn't take long. Now, myself. Her name is Maria. I love business and I love investments. And something that I don't think everybody, because of how I look right now, I am a 2nd-degree black belt in kickboxing. Yes. My foot used to go like 6 foot high at one point. Now we can't even reach my stomach. That's fine. Alright, so this is how the story starts. So, being raised in Antigua, my mom got me into piano lessons. And one of the stories she tells me, and she tells my wife, is that she normally pay a certain price for like an hour. And this is when I'm 7 years old. And I was only doing like actual piano for like 15 minutes and sitting on the side, feeling like, hold on, this don't make any sense. I told my mom I don't want to do piano anymore. She's like, why? I said, because I'm not getting my money's worth. So at a young age, I kind of knew, hold on, if you're paying this much for it, and I'm going to get it 15 minutes, I'm not getting my money's worth. So I literally quit. Because of that, I didn't feel like I was getting my money's worth. On top of that, so as you can see, selling Beyblades. Now this is like a toy that was really popular back in the day. Yeah, I don't know if anybody, it must be a generational thing. But my cousin used to send us these Beyblades for Christmas, and I used to play with them and get bored of them. And then what I did was I carried them to school and I sold them. And I used to have like a nice little change box that I'll sell them, and as he sent more down, I sold them. What's not here is all the toys and video games that that my brother got that we don't ever use. I sold them at school as well. Where all that money went, I don't know. My mom said she invested it. Alright, so a couple of things you must know about me. I went to I did my undergrad in accountancy and finance. I wanted to be an accountant, worst mistake, but I didn't love tax. So I do have a bachelor's in finance and accountancy and finance. After university, because I was not the way I am now, I was really thin. I was really good at kickboxing, and I joined the franchise. And within that franchise, I opened up 7 kickboxing clubs within 4 years. So I was already an entrepreneur at that time. What that doesn't say is I was also a personal trainer, but I made the deliberate decision to be a personal trainer whilst doing this because it allowed me to be like semi-employed. So I knew how I could be able to funnel money through that to scale my business. Hence, it did really, really well. Because of that, I learned this because the business did so well, I had money just sitting there, and I knew I couldn't reinvest into the business because the returns wouldn't actually increase because of the scale of the business at the time. So I decided to go to the bank to find out if I could invest in. When they told me what to invest in, I was like, that makes no sense. So then I was like, well, I need to learn about investments. And I read some books, didn't really understand it. Well, didn't understand the intricacies behind it. So you can read a book and you can understand, okay, this is what it is. Then how it actually works, I was like, I need to understand this. Hence why I went and did my master's in finance and investment. Found out, and I'm gonna say it this way, I was like, this is how rich white people make money. And I was like, I want to learn more and do this. So then I literally went to the association and said, well, at the moment, I don't see this being scalable, so I'm gonna change. And I exited for like 10K to my name, about 5 minutes. I'm almost done. So then came back to London and I became an investment consultant at WTW, where I'm on the client team. So I do work in investments. I do have an understanding of how it works, but it's still not being entrepreneurial. I'm sitting down there. I love investments, but I don't love working like 9 to 5 like that. Hence why my wife and I started Martin and Martin Removals and Martin and Martin Couriers. Now I'm quickly going to play a video of what we did last week. Hopefully it works. Yeah, so that was one of the jobs that we had last week. Now, the reason why I'm showing this is because during removals, you're dealing with people's personal things, and you really want to make sure you take care of it, even if you're going up 5 flights of stairs, not knowing there were 5 flights of stairs before. So, what I learned in that moment as a business owner and a team leader is when these things happen, you have to learn how to manage the team's morale. So, for the whole thing, all I could tell them is, listen, we're almost there. So even if it's giving them little things like easy wins, keep them going. Having someone there that is dedicated to, like, for example, 2 minutes. Okay. Courier service. Now with this, we have the director of the business called Boxco, who are really big around London and throughout certain parts of the UK. They serve students. And what they do is they bring the work to us and we basically just A to B, we drop everything that they need to. So at the moment, we're trying to get a service level agreement with them so it can be consistent and we can also continue delivering a high standard of work as well. Okay, so this is where we want to go. So with the removals and storage, we want to be able to scale to the point of being get into the national, international routes as well, from like going to Belgium and those places. Do you consider Scotland international? No?
Yes, but yeah,
Okay, to Scotland as well. And on the Courier side, we're looking to scale to get bigger fleets, so we're introducing motor vehicles and HGV vans as well to carry out these deliveries. My wife is from Zimbabwe, so we had a conversation last night about seeing how do we do shipments from the UK to Zimbabwe and the other way around as well. And just to let you know, and things to remember about me is entrepreneurship was a calling. And Christ saved me so I can do business his way. And thank you very much. Wow. Yes.
Could we have a kickboxing contest between you and Software, please?
I would play
Nothing like that. And I'd play for that, certainly. You cross that up.
Is it Willie Stone Watson, WTW?
Yeah.
My daughter just got a job there, so I'm going to have to catch her up.
Oh, brilliant.
Starts in September.
All right.
I'm just quite intrigued to know what was your motivation for setting up a removal company, Courier company? You know, just looking at your previous experience, why that sector of all the sectors you could have
So honestly, at the time, I needed that. My wife and I were thinking about starting a business. We didn't know what it was, and I've learned that sometimes you don't need to be an expert. You need to be a facilitator. So my cousin was a Courier service. He's always a driver, and I spoke to him about it, and I was like, when we had a conversation, I was like, okay, this is something I can invest in, and I can see how it can be scalable. So then we made a plan together, and then we were like, okay, cool. I bought the vans and everything, and then we made a business plan. Now, as I said, I love business. So then starting these businesses was just a way of, scratching an itch, but also being in it, I can see how we can help people and how it literally can be improved. Because there's so many things that, one thing I've learned about working with WTW is systems and efficiencies. And in some of these industries, it's not there. So that's something we can bring to our business. So then we can obviously keep high standards. And obviously, if you move it's personal and things like that, give somebody that service the best service possible. And that itself, I'm happy with. And also, within my community, I'm also able to give people jobs. And that's one thing I realized, that being able to satisfy my soul. So hence why we did the business. So it's all encompassing.
Yes, this is the last question. We've had one intelligent question. We ought to quit while we're winning, but
In terms of the courier business, what's the sort of best sort of work that you're looking out for? Because I'm assuming you don't really want to be taking like a teapot from Colchester to Bedford.
So I guess that's the yes. I'm gonna say yes to that, because there are people that we work with that will be able to do that.
Right.
So we have a network of drivers as well that's able to do jobs like that. But mostly what we're trying to do right now, is trying to find small SMEs laundromats, I think I mentioned before, who do service washes, but can't serve their community fully because everybody got to come and go. But then if we use our service, we can collect it, drop it, and then drop it back to them as well, and things like that. But that's the plan, to try and scale out as well.